Hey, it's Ron Biederman, Circle 100 Real Estate Brokerage. Last week we spoke about price reduction. This week I'd like to talk to you guys about pricing properties to sell. So what's the difference between getting a listing and getting a listing sold? Getting a listing, you can go out there, say the seller tells you, okay, we'd like to sell the house for 500, and you say, why 500? Let's try 600. And then you put the property on the market for 600,000 for 6 months, and obviously nothing is going to happen because it's overpriced. If you want to make a lot of money in real estate, you got to learn how to price properties to sell. And in order to do that, there is a process. So let's go over the process real quickly. The first thing I want to talk to you about, number one on the list, you got to study homes and prices every single day. Study homes and prices every day means that you're going into your marketplace, wherever the marketplace is. I don't know exactly what you're doing. You can do a geographical farm, you can have your own city, you can have a specific street, you can have specific buildings, depending on where it is that you're working. You want to specialize in that area and know exactly what's going on in the market. So studying homes and prices every day, what do you got to do to do that? Well, first thing you got to do is you got to look at the hot sheet every day. Every day you go on the MLS, you look at the hot sheet at the beginning of the day, and then you look at the hot sheet towards the end of the day. This way you can see all the new listings that came on the market. You can also see what went under contract, and you can see what sold. And by doing so, what you can do is you can actually help the seller and educate the seller about what's going on in your market, because you know exactly what's happening in your market. So you need to focus on becoming a pricing specialist. Someone who knows the prices inside out. And when you do that, when you become the person that other people can trust, other people can rely on when it comes to pricing properties, you're going to get a lot of phone calls from all your sphere of influence, everyone who knows you. And anybody in your market should know that you're a pricing specialist. So the second thing was looking at the hot sheets every single morning and then at the end of each day. Number three on the list is you got to go out there and you got to do some previews. So when you look at the hot sheets and you recognize, okay, we have 2 new listings today. The first thing you got to do is you got to call the agents, the listing agent, and you have to book yourself a preview. Go out there, preview these properties. Okay? And calling the other agent is not a big deal. You just pick up the phone and say, hi, my name is X from company XYZ, and I'm actually looking to preview the new listing you have over on 123 Main Street for a buyer that I have coming in from out of town. You don't have to book an appointment specifically with me, but whenever you have a showing, maybe I can arrive 5 minutes before your showing and I can take a quick look at the house. So you're going to look at the hot sheets every single day. All the new listings that are coming on the market, you're going to go call the agents and go preview these listings. Now, as you preview these homes, you're going to recognize some of these homes are in great condition. Other homes have no basements. Other homes have a huge backyard. Some of them have a fenced yard. Some of them have a pool in the backyard. Some of them have 2-car garage. So previewing homes every single day is absolutely a must if you want to become a market specialist. Now, I know you're busy. I know you have buyer calls. You need to go meet with the buyer, show some properties. You need to negotiate. You got to do some follow-up. You got to do a bunch of different things. But in your schedule on daily basis, you have to block some time, maybe 2-3 hours daily, to go out there and do previews. Now, obviously, if you do previews every day, you also know the market inside out. So when you have a buyer call, someone calls you today, okay, and they're looking to purchase a property in the area, you know exactly what you want to show them. So the next thing, step number 4 is before you go out on a listing presentation, I suggest you to pick the 3 most similar properties to the one you're going to go out there and list, okay? Go preview those homes before your listing presentation. Whatever you choose to put on your CMA, when you're choosing 3, 4, 5 active listings to show in your CMA, make sure you go out there and actually preview these homes. So you're not just talking about features that you read on the MLS, but you can actually speak about each individual house on your CMA and really compare apples to apples. So you can tell the seller, for an example, listen, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, your house is great, it's in moving condition, everything is good and dandy, but I just want you to know that this house over here, they have a brand new air conditioning system. You could then make real recommendations to sellers. You could talk to the sellers and explain to them exactly what we're dealing with, what and who is the competition, and how to price your home correctly. So when the seller tells you, my home is better than this one, and you know specifically that it's not, the best thing to do is book a showing, okay, on that house, take the seller the following day or the same day, and go out there and show them the actual property. That's going to help you greatly when you're pricing properties. Number 5 is you got to know the following categories, okay? Category number 1, you need to know exactly what sold in your market in the last 6 months. And we're talking about properties that are similar in features to the one that you're trying to list. The second thing you need to know here is what's under contract right now. So you got to look in the MLS and see what went into escrow, under contract, study these because you need to know exactly how long it took them to get it under contract, and you got to speak about these homes with the seller. Number 3 on that list is you got to know the average days on the market. Like, how long does it take in your market to sell a property? Is it 25 days? Is it 37 days? Is it 97 days? And then you can also compare these to last year or 2-3 years ago, and then really have a real discussion about pricing. For example, maybe 5 years ago, it took 27 days to sell a house in your market, and now it takes 67 days to sell a house, which means it's more of a buyer's market. These are different segments of the market that you really need to put your hands on. You need to really know these things inside out. And of course, you got to know similar active listings. You need to know exactly what's available, what's actively available right now in your market. Now, when you go out there, you do a listing presentation, you're showing the seller all these different listings. You went out there, you preview homes and prices every day, you're looking at the hot sheets every day. You know the market inside out. That's going to put you in a position to price properties to sell. Now, if you're in a seller's market, okay, and let's say the property right now is $500,000, but you can see that prices are increasing pretty quickly and every single listing is under a bidding war. What you could do is, if the property is worth $500,000, you could list it slightly higher because the market will catch up with it. But vice versa, when you are in a buyer's market and prices are declining, what you need to know is, you need to know exactly why prices are declining, number 1. Number 2, you need to know how to price your property. So if you price it at $500, maybe in 3 months it's going to be worth $475. Get some price reduction forms signed up ahead of time. So you can, for example, you can sit down with the seller and say, listen, here's what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to price your home at $500. And then in 45 days, if we don't get any offers, immediately I'm going to reduce it to $479 as an example. And then if still we're not getting any offers after another 45 days, which is 90 days after the listing began, we're going to drop the price again to $459. And you need to have the sellers agree on it. If, again, the seller has to be motivated. The seller needs to understand the market. And we're talking about when you're in a decline market. When you become a pricing specialist, you become a market specialist. You become a market expert. So when you have conversations with people, you know exactly what came on the market. Can you imagine every single day you go out there and you preview all the new active listings in your city, in your town, how much power that can have on your business? When you're negotiating deals, when you talk to other agents negotiating deals, when you are working with buyers, when you're presenting offers, when you're writing offers, when you're in a listing presentation, when you're negotiating with a seller price reductions. Knowing your market and how to price homes will obviously and automatically help you list more properties and, more importantly, get them sold. So that's it for today on this topic. If you have any questions, if you want to make any comments, please feel free to comment here below. That's it, guys and girls. I'll see you next week on the next video. Have a great, productive day.